new this morning, Secretary of State Marco Rubio is meeting in Budapest with Hungary's authoritarian leader and Trump ally Viktor Orban. He actually wrapped up those meetings. The secretary was highlighting a, quote, golden era of relations between the two countries. The secretary delivered a high-profile speech at the Munich Security Council. Hillary Clinton, who once held Rubio's job, was also there and slammed the Trump administration for failing to honor alliances.
He has betrayed the West. He's betrayed human values. He's betrayed the NATO Charter, the Atlantic Charter, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. A lot of what has been done before to try to make sense of how difficult it is to restrain people who want unaccountable power.
With us now is Admiral James Stavridis, the former Supreme Allied Commander of NATO and a CNN senior military analyst. And Admiral, it's great to see you. I think people are still trying to digest what the Secretary said in Munich. I want to read a quote from him that's getting a lot of attention. He said, "We are part of one civilization, Western civilization. We are bound to one another by the deepest bonds that nations could share, forged by centuries of shared history, Christian faith, culture, heritage, language, ancestry." Now, the New York Times, just one source to note that his speech, Rubio's speech, reiterated America's commitment to Europe, but wrapped it in historic and cultural ties that seemingly exclude large sections of the current European population. So it wasn't about, democracy, anti-authoritarianism, anti-communism even, which we would have heard for 40, 50, 60 years, but about this idea of civilization. So why that distinction, and what's the impact of that?
I'm Greek American, so I resonate to the idea that we are children of Europe. And it's not just our parents or grandparents or great-parents who came here. It is the values. It is the democracy, the liberty, the freedom of speech. Break. What the speech did was set a far better tone, John. And, sometimes how you say something can actually matter more than what you're actually saying. In this case, however, the fundamentals are still not good between the U.S. and Europe. And you heard that in the frustration in Secretary Clinton's voice. For the Europeans, it's the Greenland moment. It is the trade and tariff disagreements. It is walking away from climate. It is our lack of support militarily at the moment to Ukraine. So bottom line in the speech, good tone. I resonate to the fundamental ideas. I hope we can have this transatlantic bridge, but there's a lot of fundamental differences right now across that Atlantic.
Yeah, you brought up Greenland, and the New York Times noted it. A number of members of Congress who did go over there noted that was all Europeans wanted to talk about. This is a quote from the New York Times. Senators and a handful of House members who bought last-minute tickets to Munich after Speaker Mike Johnson canceled their chamber's official convoy said Greenland dominated their conversations. If I were to draw a cartoon, Jim Himes said, it would be a European saying Greenland, 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 Greenland. Why? Why did what happened with the president's machinations over Greenland, why has it had such a lasting impact that has not gone away?
First and foremost, we got to remember, as the United States, we're an amazing country, but we're not terribly good at empathy or understanding how others view us. We're kind of, if we were a dog, we'd be a very happy golden retriever, kind of bounding through the world, knocking things over with our tail. And this is an example of that. We got very focused for a moment, I hope it's just a moment, on this idea of possessing Greenland. Then we move on. The Europeans, this is their territory. It's been part of the Kingdom of Denmark for centuries. It is so obviously something the Europeans were willing to work with us on, and yet there was a lot of bellicose rhetoric coming out of the White House. So when you put all that together, it looms very large in the European mind, and Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, has taken to calling this the Greenland moment. And I'm hearing that from many of my European colleagues and friends. Bottom line, John, I've been to the Munich Security Conference many, many times. There is a tendency for a particular moment or comment to thread itself through that very compressed 2.5-day conference. I think Greenland is, in fact, the one that on that side of the Atlantic is still resonating.
Yeah, look, one will never know how serious President Trump was about it, but it seems the way he went about it has changed the way that the Europeans are looking at the United States, at least for now. At least that's the feedback we're getting from Munich. Admiral James Stavridis, great to speak with you this morning. Thank you very much.